quick of the Prelude. It's been spray painted. It looks like crap. That's okay. I've had a few people tell me, why did you buy that? It's okay. I know to a lot of people it looks like garbage. And there's a lot of work that needs done in it. This I know. I'm even looking at a possibility of finding a different body. Another car that has a better body on it. But there are a few things on this car that intrigue me. One, it has the original wheels. The SI came with these bladed wheels. They're not super rare, but to find a Prelude that still has them is it's a little more difficult. It has a B20 A5 in it. I can't really pop the hood right now, but anyway, I'll do another video a little bit later. This is a quick video. Actually, I'm going to show you the paint, because I am going to take the air hose and I'm going to see how much of this spray paint I can get off with just air. It's really flaky on the roof and really flaky on the trunk and a few other places. So we're going to try and see what we can get out of it. I've been wanting to work on it. The Mazda is, I'm still waiting for some parts to get it put back together and hopefully on the market to be sold. And then I can roll this bad boy in the garage and start tearing it down. But I've been biting at the bit to get at this, and so I'm going to do something while I can. Something easy, kind of fun, mindless. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. Alright, so what's happening? So I told you I would show you some of the progress. As you can see, I do have some progress. So I started out hitting things up with the air hose. I got a good start of it. My compressor couldn't quite keep up, so I decided I was going to start using this. Now, before anyone's like, whoa, why are you using a blade on paint? I know some people disagree with this and that, but anyway, this actually proves to work really well. Now, some of the clear coat on this is, I mean, it's typical late 80s paint, so you're going to have some of the clear coat that's been going on it. But I have found that as long as I get the corner of the paint peeled up, that I usually can peel a good chunk of spray paint off like this. So I'm not gouging or anything. I'm literally just taking the edge of the blade. Now this is a super sharp blade. I'm being really careful. This is interchangeable skinning blade. This is a spent one. It's still super sharp, and the blade on it is super thin. So I don't know if you can see. Anyway, it's super thin. So unlike a razor blade, it's actually thinner than a razor blade. So I can get just the angle just right, just to peel up the corner of the paint and get it to come up. Once I get it up, I just kind of take and start peeling it up. If anyone's skinned an animal or anything like that, you kind of, as you're skinning it, you go in between the skin layer and the meat. Anyway, and then you just kind of start removing that elastic, the elastic tissue and everything. They're called planes if you want to get technical. So anyway, I basically am doing the same thing with that. Peel it up. If it starts kind of sticking, then I'll kind of run the blade softly across that plane. And it's not gouging the paint or anything. It's literally just kind of unsticking that paint. So that's what I've been doing. The great thing is that, believe it or not, some of the clear coat on this car is still fairly intact, surprisingly. There is a lot of fade to it. We'll see what happens when I get to the whole car and uncover the whole car. I do know that the rear panel on the driver's side, I did find some small spot that's rusted all the way through. So that's that trouble side that I'm a little worried about anyway, because there's Bondo there. So I'm not too worried about it, but let's go ahead and show you where I've gotten to. So here is the hood of the car. As you can see, I've gotten quite a ways with it, and so that's kind of where I've gotten on the hood of the car, or not the hood, the roof of the car, and so that's come along pretty well. Kind of show you a couple other spots. This hasn't really changed all that much. I was able to get a couple spots down here, but the hood, nothing really changed on the hood. Just a couple small spots. Majorly, nothing really on the side. I was able to get some spots closer to the door. I got a little bit of red, a little more red bleeding through. Nothing really much. Here is that spot I told you about that rusted through. That does look problematic. Move the molding and have a better look once I get to that point. Right now, I'm not real worried about the body. My Mazda's in the garage, and I'm still waiting on parts to get that fixed before I can get that out of the garage. My main goal with this is to try and get it running, but I've been biting at the bit to get working on this, so I started peeling back some paint. Here is that panel. You look down it, it's kind of wavy, and then we've got Bondo. And this right here is misaligned. So this panel's obviously been hit. It's worse than I originally thought. I took a magnet to it, and it still, it felt pretty good and whatnot. I mean, obviously you can hear the difference. I thought there was a little bit of bondoing down here. In fact, I could see a little bit, so I wasn't real worried about it. I didn't realize the extent that the Bondo is on this panel. Here is the trunk lid. I did get some more on the trunk lid and that, but I'm having the most progress on the roof. Why did you waste your money on this car? There's two reasons. Nostalgia. I love these cars. My first car was a 90 Prelude, and so there's some nostalgia. There's a little bit of emotional attachment to it, even though it's not my same car. It is red, like my first one. And these cars are getting a little more rare in decent shape. Obviously this is not in decent shape, but I just love the idea of being able to take and breathe life back into this. This car is literally, well, most people would probably just junkyard this. I only paid $600 for it. Like I said earlier, the wheels and the motor and the manual transmission alone are worth that. Even if I need to rebuild the motor in this is worth rebuilding. The B20 A5 motors were, the blocks were cast iron. So ideally, if I wanted to boost this at all, this is the motor to have. There's a lot of different swaps and stuff out there. The most popular right now, well, I guess I wouldn't say the most popular. Some of the more popular options are the H23 or the H22, and the problem with doing those is you have to get the alignment of the motor just right. Otherwise the hood doesn't latch. The other problem is you have a problem with the oil pan sitting super low. I personally want to be able to drop this, and I don't want to have to worry about oil pan clearance for the sake of horsepower. this build and everything is going to be less about horsepower and more about drivability. I'm going to do, if you've driven these cars are awesome to drive. And they're small, they're light, it's 2-door, sporty. I think the third gens are right around 1,900 pounds, just under 2,000 pounds. So, I mean, if you can pep up this H20, the V20 A5, do a few things to it, just give a little more horsepower, it still will be a blast to drive. Dropping a little bit, doing some suspension tuning, some exhaust, intake, headers, stuff like that. Make it sound good, make it breathe. That's kind of the downside on these things that I learned early on. They literally have a pea shooter stock for their exhaust. The moment that I did 2.25 inch piping from my cat back, it made a huge difference. And there's a way you can do the exhaust on these so that you don't get that typical Honda Rice sound and the crackling at about 3,000 RPMs. And I mean, you just, instead of going high flow cat, you can, there's a couple different cat options you can go. Headers definitely help and everything. So these are kind of some of the options that I learned early on messing around with my first one. I really wish I still had it, because I would take the motor out of this and drop it into that 90 that I had, and it'd be ready to go. But I don't, it is what it is, so we're starting from new. As we get looking at this, if I can get it running, awesome. That's the main goal. And then we'll address the body more. And it may end up being that the body isn't going to be worth putting the money into it to restore it, and I may look for a different body for a different shell. So we'll kind of see what happens, but that's where we're at on this thing. And yeah, I'll probably make a different YouTube channel so that I don't take up the Wilson Life YouTube channel on these, because I know that there's some people that follow our Wilson Life channel and they're going to be less interested in this, but then again, I know that there are other people that would be interested in just seeing my progress on this. So this is a build that I am quite excited about. Up until, since my Subaru, my WRX went out, I've kind of just been toying around with cars that really don't have any point of tuning, but just for fun and I guess waste of money. But this is going to be a fun restoration project. So yeah, I'll just keep you guys posted, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching.